He was standing in a crowded room. Friends, people who knew his name. Someone made a joke. Everyone laughed. He laughed too, but inside, nothing. No warmth, no connection. Just the quiet feeling of being completely alone. Not because no one was there, because no one saw him. This is the loneliness of being surrounded and still feeling empty, of existing in a room full of people who know your face but not your life. You learn to perform, you smile at the right moments, you nod, you say what people expect, and you wonder if the version of you that people see is even real. When was the last time you felt completely invisible? Not ignored, just not there, like you were made of glass. For most who experience this, it's the default. They go through life as observers, not participants. This pattern builds slowly. A childhood where your feelings weren't reflected. A family where you learned to disappear to keep the peace. You're in a group, people are talking, you're part of it. Then you notice you haven't said anything in 30 minutes. No one has asked you a question. You could walk away and no one would notice until hours later. This is the mirror. Being in a social space, but not in it. Watching through a window. Everyone else on one side, you on the other. You've learned to fill the space. You laugh when others laugh. You nod when others nod, an expert at appearing present while being somewhere else. Here's what hurts. It's not that people are cruel, they just don't notice. You've become part of the furniture. You have friends, but friendship feels like a performance. You know what to say, you know how to make people feel good, but no one asks what's underneath. So you show them the version that fits, the version that laughs, listens, never complains, easy to be around because it asks for nothing. The cost is that no one ever has to try, and if no one ever tries, no one ever really sees you. To understand why, you have to look backward, before you learned to perform. Psychologists call it emotional attunement. A caregiver reflects your feelings. You smile, they smile. You cry, they comfort. Through this, a child learns, my feelings matter. I exist. But what happens when a child cries and no one comes? When joy is met with silence? The child learns their feelings are invisible, that to survive they must become small, quiet, easy. This is not always abuse. Often it's just absence, a parent who is overwhelmed, a family where emotions are too big to handle. The child adapts. They learn to read the room, to suppress what they feel, to disappear. By adolescence, this is automatic. They don't know how to be themselves because they were never given space to find out. You learned that relying on others is unsafe, so you stopped. On the surface, this looks like strength, independence, but underneath, a child is still waiting, watching from behind the glass. This is why you can be in a room full of people and feel nothing. Your brain learned that connection comes from being useful, entertaining, not from being present. The strategies that kept you safe as a child are what keep you alone as an adult. When you grow up without mirroring, you lose connection with yourself. You stop knowing what you feel. How do you name sadness if no one ever said you look sad? The loneliness isn't just about others, it's about the absence of self. You can't be seen if you don't know who you are underneath the performance. But this pattern is not permanent. Attachment can be rewired. It requires one thing that terrifies you: letting someone in, the real you, the one waiting behind the glass. This is about the wall you built so long ago you forgot it was there. The dark side is subtle. It looks like functioning, like independence, but inside, a slow erosion. The loneliness spreads. It follows you home. It sits with you at night. You start to believe this is just who you are, that some people are meant to be alone. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't reach out. You tell yourself you're protecting others, but really you're protecting yourself from rejection. The more you protect yourself, the more you guarantee it. Connection requires vulnerability, and you've decided the risk isn't worth it. People believe the performance. They think you're fine. They stop offering because you never showed them there's a place to offer. You become the friend who listens but never speaks, the person everyone likes but no one knows. When people try to get close, you feel it, a pull to push them away. Not because you don't want them close, because you don't trust what happens when they get there. You learned that if someone really knows you, they'll leave, so you leave first. A slow fade. Here's what you don't see. Your ability to disappear is not a flaw. It's a survival skill. It kept you safe. Your independence is not coldness. It's a fortress built when asking for help was dangerous. The hidden truth is that you are not broken. You are someone who learned that being seen was not safe. And you've carried that lesson long after the danger passed, still following rules written for a child who no longer exists. The loneliness is not evidence you don't belong. It's evidence you've been holding your breath so long you forgot you were breathing. The part of you that still wants to be seen is still alive. It's tired of waiting. You are not invisible because you are nothing. You are invisible because you learned to be. And what you learned, you can unlearn, but not alone. If this was about you, here's what I want you to know. You are not broken. You are someone who learned to survive by becoming invisible. Survival skills are not flaws. You were taught your feelings didn't matter, that you were easier to love when you were quiet. But you are still here, still hoping someone will see you. The first step is not to find new people. It's to let yourself be seen by the people already there. To stop performing for one conversation, to say something real. It will feel terrifying. It will feel wrong, like breaking a rule you followed your whole life. But that's how you know you're doing it right. You are not invisible. You are hidden, and hidden things can be found, but only if you stop hiding, only if you let someone look.